Falana-led coalition slams U.S. report over Lekki massacre, asks if American army imposes curfew by shooting. The Alliance on Surviving COVID-19 and Beyond, a coalition led by Femi Falana, has berated the American government for the report it released on the Lekki shootings, 5 months after the massacre at Lekki Tollgate, in which the Nigerian army deployed its personnel to fire live bullets at peaceful protesters. The United States just published that there was no conclusive report as at 2020 ending to substantiate it. The Endsars protests across the country were against police brutality until they were hijacked by hoodlums. The protests lasted 2 weeks before the soldiers showed up at the Lekki Toll Plaza to allegedly, well, not allegedly, they did, shoot at defenseless youths, resulting in the death of some protesters. The army has denied the killing of the people in Lagos. However, on Wednesday, U.S. through the Department of State's 2020 country reports on human rights practices said accurate information on fatalities resulting from the shooting was not available at year's end. Reacting to the report by the U.S. through a statement issued by Falana on behalf of the coalition on Thursday, said the U.S. report on Lekki shootings is prejudicial, contradictory, and misleading. The group questioned the authenticity of the report as it contradicted itself, claiming that military men were imposing curfew by firing into the air on one hand, and also saying that they fired at protesters when criminal elements penetrated into them. The report has attempted to cover up the brutal killings at the Lekki Toll Gate and part of Lagos from October 20th, 2020 to the 27th of October as well. It is a very contradictory report. On one hand, the report claimed that members of the security forces were enforcing curfew by firing into the air to disperse protesters at the toll gate. On the other hand, the report said that some protesters had turned violent after criminal elements infiltrated them, and so the security forces fired protesters at Lekki Tollgate. The report did not mention that the detachment of the Nigerian army which penetrated the mayhem. Do soldiers shoot in the air to enforce curfews in the United States? Absolutely not. And again, are you surprised? I mean, again, let's not look to America like as if they're the moral code of conduct, especially when it comes to protests as well. I mean, they don't have a clean record as well. So it's like, what do you expect? And even if they were to say the actual truth on what happened, what would that do? Exactly. It's not coming to my mind if they do anything about it, or what impact they'd have if they actually did the opposite of actually, validating the truth. But the fact just remains that it's even calling on the international communities will not do anything. I mean, at the time I was genuinely thinking that international communities, like, and also the International Criminal Court and all that, I genuinely thought that Buhari was going to get sanctioned and all that. But at the end of the day, Nigeria's disorganization, Nigeria's, inadequate state is benefiting a lot of people. And this just goes to show that the stakeholders are not just Nigerians. Because if it was, then, no one else will feel like they have anything to lose or gain by supporting the right cause. So yeah, again, what do we expect? The fact is that a lot of things have happened, and calling on the international community, it's not going to do anything, because again, we are the only ones that can save ourselves, and it just is what it is. It really is what it is. So yeah. A comment here says, I just read the report and it didn't even exonerate the government. Instead, all over condemned it, but some APC fanatics are already celebrating it as a victory. They never cease to amazing, so bigoted they can turn a lie into a truth and truth into a lie. Someone says America is more corrupted than Nigeria itself due to their getting back bribe for government. And take Facebook, for example, and see how rude they are becoming. Okay, the second half just lost me. So that's why the Nigerian government spent billions of dollars to remove Trump, to bring in evil Biden Obama government to continue their evil cover-up. Oh, wow. All right. And someone else says it only shows that Femi Falana and his so-called coalition did a very poor, shoddy job. They didn't know it's wrong to allow government to investigate the massacre, and their so-called independent came well after the government investigation. Then the independent investigation was open to the world to see Falana is not someone reliable. Go and check yourself, please. I'm going to reply to such comments, please. Do you blame the US? No, Nigeria is their company. They must do everything to keep their company running. This person just knows. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. That's it. And someone replied to the comment saying Nigeria is UK's company while US is invested in the company to get profits. So now UK get the company gong. That is very, very true, because we got independence from them. So yeah, you think they just leave us like that without any stake or think for themselves? Absolutely not. So it's like we cannot rely our people are sellouts. Will anything change? Again, even in the first world countries, they are still very, very corrupt. But at least, when it comes to survival, they gatekeep their resources. They don't just let anyone come in. They value themselves. I think that's just the main thing here. That's the only difference. Because they value themselves does not take away from the fact that they are still very corrupt. So again, I just need to realize that they can only save themselves, and if they want something to happen, they are going to have to fight for it. If anything, let's even learn from Haiti. I think we should learn from Haiti. I think the Haitian Revolution is something that is not well taught or well spread out, but let's do that. Someone here says, let's occupy USA Embassy in Lagos and Abuja to tell them that the ambassador is corrupt and bought by Nigerian government. She should be investigated. Okay. I don't know who the actual person is, but yeah, I agree. If that could be a protest as well. The fact is, the people are not being violent, the actual protesters. So we will know if anyone is infiltrating, trying to cause any kind of, brouhaha. Another person says, America under Biden is compromised. I saw that report and I was asking if it was from America. It was so incoherent, as if it was written by an African political leader. What do you mean? That's stereotypical, okay? That is so rude. Someone says, maybe the Nigerian government also bribe America to stand on that. Again, they're working with each other. The investments are very, very high. There are a lot of American companies in Nigeria. So again, it's imagine the people protest. Imagine the people protested. The people stopped consuming American products. The people just stopped. That would make an impact, because obviously what they understand is their coins. They understand that if you come against their coins, they're probably more open to listening. But yeah, again, I don't think Nigerians should believe that they are the only stakeholders or expect some international communities to be as effective. I mean, come on. Look how long it took the UN for them to, come against and actually go against the apartheid. And yet, let's not even go into that. So again, when it comes to the international communities, you can't guarantee that, there's a coherent or strong continuing alliance. But I think in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and